Good morning and welcome to day 2, Next Level 2020. Bright and early, 9 a.m. here on the East Coast. And we do have some customers walking around. That's fantastic to see, eager customers. We've got a busy day, jam-packed today with live demonstrations. We've got customers in the building that are here to see some machines, and we're also going to do some live streaming. We've got edge bander maintenance. We have so much stuff going on. I got to make notes. Live edge bander maintenance at 10, 11:45, S90 crosscut saw. We've got digital business at 12:15, optimizing like a pro at 1 o'clock. We have 2 o'clock, understanding how storage systems can fit into your application. We've got talking about edge banders for the small medium business. And 4 o'clock, ripping with automation. I mean, that is a jam-packed day. So we're excited. We're excited if you're tuning in remotely. We're excited for the people that are here. That's fantastic. Now, we had a great day yesterday. We had probably 60 or so customers in the building. We had a lot of live streams that happened. And if you tuned in, that's fantastic. If you didn't tune in, they are up on our social media pages. So check them out. So, to start it off at 9 a.m., we've got something that we're excited to have with us now. It's a brand new product. This is the introduction to it to North America. And what I will do is hand this off to Michael Mushkett, and he will talk to you and walk you through the new P50 moulder. Michael?
Thank you, Brett. All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Michael. You might have seen me yesterday in some of the videos that I did with Shawn. So like Brett said, it's going to be a really exciting day. We have a lot of information for you guys out there. The first video, I'm very pleased to announce the new Profimat 50. So we are going to talk to you about the Profimat 50 this morning. The machine is right behind me. It's fresh off the boat. It's a great little entry-level machine. The configuration, how we have it here, is a 5-spindle. It's also available in 6 spindles. It can be operated in all manual, or we have an option to add a control package onto it. But we will go into that a little bit further down the road. And I would like to get Shawn in the picture as well.
Good morning, Michael. Hello, everyone.
P50. Shawn, when you saw the machine, what was your first impression?
The Profimat's back, y'all. So very much right in line with where we left off with the Profimat series. It's a great machine. It always has been for decades. We've been pumping those things out. Very dependable. The biggest draw, per se, to this type of machine is you can see it's a very small footprint. So you get a lot of bang for your buck where this machine's concerned.
Awesome. I would say let's jump right into it, and we go through some of the features on this machine, and then we would also like to run some material for you so you see that it's actually running and working.
It is under power.
It is under power, that's right. Okay. All right, so from the in-feed side, we have a standard 6.6 foot in-feed table, straightening table with fence. As you can see here, this is usually where the machine is controlled from. So there is no computer on this machine. The buttons and the operator controls are very minimalistic. We just have a little indicator light, emergency stop, a selector switch for the different modes, setup, manual and automatic. Then we have a single motor start button. So there's just one start button. We have, like I said, we have 5 spindles on this machine. So that one button is going to start all 5 spindles in sequence, one after each other. Same for the stop. We have just one stop button that will stop all the motors at the same time. This section here is controlling the feed system. Feed beam up, feed beam down, feed backward, feed forward or jogging. And then we have feed system start, feed system stop, and then our feed speed. Feed speed, we're running about 36, 38 feet per minute.
Yeah, the same as with a typical Profimat. We are at 6,000 RPM on the spindles, so we are right in that general 30 foot a minute range based on that RPM. Physics or physics.
Right. Talking about RPM, so the first spindle is actually 6,000 RPM. The rest of the spindles on this machine is actually 7,000 RPM, so that's an option that we can get. All right, we have the lateral pressure roller, holds the material against the fence. Make sure we were always tight against the bed plates and the fence. Then we go and look inside the machine. So when you look at it, it looks very similar to a PowerMat 700. The machine has a lot of things on it that are the same on both models, P50 and the P700. Like I said, this is a 5 spindle, which we call a O17, meaning you have a bottom, a right, left, one top head, and then the second bottom head. All the controls on the machine are manual. So you, in order to put a spindle into the right position, you take the measurements from the tool that you're using, and then you use the hand crank to crank that crank that spindle into position manually. Shawn, correct me if I'm wrong, but those, what was the name of those counters that we're using here?
I don't understand the question. Seco, yeah, that's
so it's basically
it's a mechanical counter. Yes,
it's a mechanical counter. So you basically put the hand crank on, you crank it in position, and that little dial here will just run.
Okay. Something coming back to Michael said it's a lot like the PowerMat 700s. For those of you that don't know, the PowerMat 700s have a lot of kind of quick setup features to them. And all of that is still here on the machine. So instead of it maybe being a little faster as on a PowerMat 700, because we're giving you some more stuff along there, of course, comes with a price, but we're trying to keep the price down to the guys that are in-house. We're not really so focused on doing a lot of fast changeovers per the day. We may only run this thing, you know, for, I don't know, 6, 7 profiles within a day or something, or even less. So we don't have to focus on all the super fast changeover stuff, but all of those items to do those changes are still within the Profimat 50.
Right. All right, so about the features, we have one motor that is actually shared on the 2 vertical spindles. So one motor drives both spindles, and all that is, I mean, as you can see, the machine is very compact, very small footprint, and the purpose of developing this machine was to basically have another all manual entry-level machine, because I know that was requested from a lot of our customers. And probably one of the most, probably not the most important thing, but a very important feature here is that this machine is made in Germany. So we have an all manual machine, little entry-level machine made in Germany without any computer. The computer is optional on it, but I think we're definitely filling a little gap that we had. So we're really excited to introduce that machine back to North America.
Yep. So Michael and everybody out there, some of the differences between the machine that is now here as the Profimat 50 coming from out of Germany, we had some customers that just were not that comfortable with our Unimat line, just simply from where it was actually put together. So we're taking a lot of the stuff that we used to have on the Profimat, such as, if we can back up just a little bit here, the difference between a Unimat and a Profimat here is the actual table plate back here on the tail end. One of the things that our old Profimats had too was a very thick, large table plate back there, meaning that in order to get some other features on the machine, we had to sacrifice some movements, or back here on the table plate, ease of movements, I should say.
Okay.
Whereas we actually had to take a backside fence off just to move a table plate and things like that. It was very cumbersome and not easy for the operator to actually use. Right. So just like the 700s, we have the same type of plate here. And if I want to remove this plate to take the shim out and do our maintenance, which we should be doing, it's much easier on this machine even than the Unimat series.
Right.
So also, going back to the 700 there, where Michael had mentioned that we have one motor sharing one motor, with the right and left spindle. That is not uncommon in our other 700 series either. We have basically 3 versions of a PowerMat 700. One of which the top line is that very fast changeover, everything automated PowerMat 700 we refer to as the HSK machine. It's fully automated, all the push button tool changing and stuff. And then we come back to a PowerMat 700, which is a hybrid machine between the two. At that point on the 700 hybrid and the 700 Eagle, those are both machines that do have the same shared motor as well. So it's not like we're stepping back in, the past to rehash something there. We are still currently using that system on the more modern machines too.
Okay, great, yeah. So like Shawn said, a lot of the setup features are very similar. In general, the specs that we have on this machine are similar to what we're using on our PowerMat 700. As you can see here on the side, we only have two hand tools to make a complete changeover on the machine and to change the most common settings. Yeah, Shawn, if you're ready, I would say let's close the door and run some material through it.
Okay. One more thing I want to point out. When we I just removed this hose so that we could see a little better in the machine. So when Christian backs out, you can see this would be a typical setup. Is this hose is in place. One here, then wrestling with it, and we're always secure up here on the top. So when I am doing a change, normally I'm just going to have a quick release here and actually take that hose and hook it right up here on the top. So it's everything kind of stays on the machine. Another feature too, just before we fire this up and make some racket. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Another feature is when we are coming through the machine, you can see, if you can see this, Christian, there's just the same 2 wrenches again as our other series of machines. We're trying to eliminate the amount of tools that the operator has to be chasing down and stuff as he's doing his normal changeovers. So we're making all the nuts the same size, all the Allens the same size, so that very quickly we can change the rollers on the machine with just one tool. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll hand Michael the microphone and he can walk through and explain what I'm doing on the machine, but it's a very simple basic setup on the machine itself.
All right. Okay, so right now what we would call, we're in a tool change position. Machine is opened up. We just changed our cutter heads, and now Shawn is bringing the machine into working position. So here he's adjusting the left spindle. He's making the radial adjustment to bring the left head in. All right, so once he has reached the desired value, he simply locks down that adjustment, and now he's going onto the top head.
Point out the colors in the clamping system.
Yeah. So as you can see here on the adjustment for the different axes, there are those are color coded. So we see here we have a blue mark, which we have the blue lock right underneath it. So for every axis we do have a lock, and like I said, those locks are color coded, so it's very easy for the operator to identify which lock he has to open up in order to make the adjustment. Same for the top head, so he adjusted the thickness. The feed beam is on a little servo motor, the height adjustment for it. So right now Shawn is bringing the feed beam down.
So we'll just get it close here and then use your scale.
Right, so what Shawn's saying, with that little button here at the end of the machine, he's bringing it close, and then there's a dial up front. He can look through the window, and there's a little dial in there that he can look at while standing in front of the machine to bring the feed beam to the finished height. Okay. All right, guys. While Shawn is going back and starting up the dust collector, I just want to talk to you about a little bit about the options or the different configurations that we can have on this machine. So like I said, this is the Profimat 50. We have it here in a 5 spindle, all manual, 460 volts. Now this machine is also available in 220 volts. For some of our customers that are smaller shops, they might not have 460 available. So I think this is a great benefit excuse me, for some of the smaller shops to run this machine off of 220 volt 3-phase. So this would be the 5 spindle. It's also available in a 6 spindle. With that we would have 2 top heads. And then on all those different configurations we can have either the all manual setup, which we have here, which means no computer on the machine. which was a request for many years. Have a German-built machine without any computer on it. Just a single start button, a single motor start button, and then bring all your axes into position manually. Now with the option that we call control package, what you will get is the Memory Plus system. So there's going to be a small computer right in here. What you will also get is CNC controls on the left, the top, and the feed beam. The left radial, the top radial, and the feed beam. And digital readouts for those specific axes. So the machine with the control system or control package will basically give you a little bit quicker setup because you do have those motorized axes to make the positioning of the machine. All right, so seems like we're good. So right now Shawn will start the spindles. So because the door is open right now, we can still jog the material through, but he has to hold his finger on the motor start button until all the spindles are started. All right, so now all the machine is running, and he can jog the first piece through. All right, so once the material is in, he is stopping the feet and he's bringing in the fence after the left spindle to hold it over against the piece of wood. Then we can close the door and he can finish jogging that piece through the machine. All right, so as you can see here, we're running a little piece of crown molding on this machine. So now Shawn just switched the selector key into the automatic position. The feed is already running, so we can feed our material through the machine. All right, so guys, as you can see, even though a very small footprint, all manual machine, and even though it's just a 5 spindle, but you still get the great WEINIG finish.
So it doesn't matter the profile, we're still going to get high quality coming out of the machine, and it's just a matter of matching the numbers up, Mike. It's the same thing that we preach on the rest of our equipment. As long as your tools are good, your profile will be good.
That's right. That's right. All right, Christian, I'm not sure. Do we have any comments in the chat or questions? All right. Well, that's awesome. I think that's pretty much it for this video. I think we went over all the basics, guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to post them in the chat. Or other than that, you can reach out to your regional manager or to your local agent. They will be able to give you as much information as you need. The machine is now in the showroom, so it's ready to demo. If you wish, if you're in the area or if you want to stop by or schedule an appointment with us, we would love to have you over and make an in-person demo for you. All right, I think that's it for today, or for this morning, for the session, first video with the P50. Guys, please stay tuned today. We have a lot more information coming up for you. And with that, I'll say goodbye and we'll see you later.